Meeting to order for April 16, 2025. I'm Fred Demick. I am the committee chair for this committee. Can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Stockin? Mr. Fanton?
Here.
Mrs. Burdick? Wait a minute, hang on.
Wrong one.
She's got the wrong.
Mr. Demick?
Here.
Mr. Healy?
Here.
Mr. Fanton? Mrs. Hanchett?
Here.
Mr. Havey?
Here.
Mrs. Root?
Here.
And Mr. Brumfeld? 6 present, 1 absent.
Testing this, weren't you?
You passed.
For a motion to approve the minutes of March 5th, 2025.
Havey will move that.
Thank you. Second?
Root will second.
Thanks. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. We're going to skip over the updates for Chamberlain at this moment and the conflict defender's office, and we'll call Tom Windus up, and he will probably enlighten us on both of them if need be. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, sir. I can enlighten you at least on conflict defender. 55 Chamberlain, I'm not sure if we have anything. Doc, things are going well? Love to hear that.
Pretty much that, right? Right.
Yeah. I do know we have some outside work we want to do this year, just to pretty things up and make it better for you, but I think we're rolling along there. Conflict defender,
One thing, I will
Yes.
tell you, every day I show up to work, there's some improvement. They have been in and they have done, whether it was the window for the secretaries, whatever, every day there's something.
Good.
being done. So
I wish I
Glad
could
to hear
say
that.
that.
conflict defenders are still moving along. They're projected to be done the end of May, I believe, was the target time frame. Weather dependent. All right, so inside. Outside, all depends on weather. They still have to scrape and paint. So if that, if we don't get any dry weather, it might get pushed farther along. But once that is done and they get the painting done, we still have work to do. We have to connect sidewalks and, basically make it accessible from the parking lot to that building. So that'll be work that we'll be doing. They finally have a definitive plan on the electric, and RG&E has been there's been some delay, I'll just put it that way. We finally have a plan. RG&E is working up the final details. We have to wait for them to sign off on it, and then we can get that service done. So hopefully that's taken care of in the next couple weeks. But the electrical contract has been phenomenal, been really good. General contractor, very, very good as well. So any questions on conflict
Does that
defender?
include a generator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
Thank you.
generator's on order, and that might be another thing that's delayed, just depending on when they can get it.
What are you building on the back? It looks like you're putting another addition on or something.
Oh, we just added more. No, I'm just kidding. The garage that was there before, we just put a floor on it so they could have storage, record storage, and that's where the IT cabinet is going, out there in the garage. So, and then behind the garage is where the generator's going. And then we had to do any underground conduit. It's a mess down there. So it will actually also feed Board of Elections, so they will have backup power as well when it's all done.
Thank you.
Any other
Burdick?
questions?
I'm just curious, budget-wise, how much we've spent on this project so far, and I assume we've spent all the money from the state first, but I'm just wondering how much county money ended up having to date go into this.
Terry's going to help me out.
Yeah, so can I. I got it right here.
Forgot you're sitting there, Terry.
No, we did spend the first. I believe they are working on a claim to get that cash back to us. But Tom and Dean really working with contractors if we got some billing in that we needed before the 31st of March to make that happen.
Can you turn your mic on, please?
Yeah, I was just saying that we did get the bills in for the March 31st deadline to claim everything from the state. I'm just trying to find this. 1634. Of course, there's a million capital projects, sorry.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you could, Dean. You're like quicker fingers, go for it. So to date, of course, it's not coming up. You know, I have a screen problem here, so I have to work within a broken screen, so.
IT's right.
He's helping me, I've got it started, but that is not coming up. In 24, we encumbered about $1.2 million. What, oh, are you looking at something? And in 24, sorry, 25, we have spent another $800,000. The encumbrance will cover that 800 though, so we're looking at about $1.2 million, just like we had projected, I believe. I believe that's about what we had projected. So we've spent it out the door, or we have it encumbered to a contractor. And that could be subject to change, but right now, the amount of money that you wanted to put in is what you did put in. I think it was $793,000 from the state, or $782 or something like that.
Correct.
So the difference is county money.
Tom, is that hold up on RG&E? Is that because of three-phase installation?
No, it was actually, they had proposed to put the two,
Come on.
it's kind of weird how all the utilities work for those three structures. When we took it over, it was all one church facility. So, electric ran through the house. No. Electric ran through the church to the BOE. House had its own, and then water ran through the house that went through the church, even though the church didn't have any water, to the BOE. So we're trying to get everything back where it should be. So Hunt originally designed was to put two meters on the conflict defender's house. One would be for the conflict defender's building. The other meter would be for BOE. Well, RG&E didn't like that. They wanted the meter on each of the buildings. So that's the difference of why. So now they had to redesign it, get power all the way back. 'Cause we didn't really want to go all the way back with the cost of that extra wire. They're saying we have to. So that's what the difference is. You're welcome.
What, is the state paying for the electric on the conflict one, or why?
There was
what's the
no
reason for-
differential. There's
for
no
two-
differential in what they're paying for, what they're not paying for. They were just gonna pay up to a certain dollar amount, and then we have to pay for everything else.
Well, I guess they don't understand RG&E's problem, but.
Well, it's just how they won't provide it unless they're happy. So, no other way to put it. Any other questions on those? Yes, ma'am.
Dean just helped me out a little bit too. Cash out the door on that project is $891,000 so far today. That we spent about $2,700 in '23, $81,000 in '24, and $807 in '25 so far. Plus, we have all the encumbrances out there, so, yeah, thanks, Dean.
You don't want me adding anything.
Then the only other update that I have is that as we mentioned in Public Works last time, design for the new DPW facility is coming along really well. We just actually had a meeting this morning. Keith was able to jump on about IT issues, not issues, but just clarifications, what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that the cameras are the same cameras we have here. The swipe cards for door access are the same swipe cards, those types of things. So we're finalizing everything. We're still on schedule for coming to Public Works to get permission to bid June 4th. So just as an FYI, I know we didn't want to talk about sewer earlier, but I'm just going to put it out there that we do have a design that's almost done for the wastewater treatment facility, and that's going to be necessary to build for us to operate that shop. So
I have a question. Do you have fiber out there for internet?
So Armstrong runs by it,
Okay.
and Keith has already been working with them. That was one thing we talked about this morning, so.
Good
Yep.
to know.
And he's got a contact for that, and we handed it off to Hunt, so, yeah.
And you got Ion on 20, or on 19 too, I think, right? Let me ask you a question though, are we still working on that bus,
That's on pause.
Transportation
Yeah.
facility, yeah, I was
That's on
just gonna
pause.
ask that.
I'm being, answer that? It's basically on pause. We don't have a contract yet from the state. So,
But we still have the commitment, basically, from
we don't have a
DOT, right?
contract. Yeah, we're still waiting on the contract to then be able to bring forward the contract with Hunt to start the design. So no design has started yet for the transportation facility.
You got anything else?
That's all I got right now, Fred.
Okay, well, good, appreciate it.
Welcome.
We'll plan on it next month. Thank you. County Administrator. You can kind of throw us out a little bit to do with the next three subjects.
Where would you like to start?
You got anything on employment training? That's going to be part of our priority plans going forward, if there's been any changes?
I don't have any changes on employment and training right now.
Okay. Okay. And of course, the third floor, you weren't here last time,
Yeah.
so we're just catching up a little bit.
Yeah.
Third floor renovations, we talked about what was in, there was some people that thought there was ARPA funds for that. If there is, it's very minimal, I believe.
I do know that somebody's doing something up there this morning. Things were being moved around. I could hear it in my office. Probably it was just Tyler reorganizing all his supplies. You
Okay.
probably heard the last month's meeting. He was scurrying around.
And then going along with that is the whatever happened with the mailroom, had a lot of people talking about that, what happened there, what's going on.
Mailroom's
we're-
temporarily up on the third floor. I believe we could move it back down to this floor probably later this year if we want to. As you know, economic development is in my office. They hired 2 new people and they needed extra space for those people. So we did a little rearranging on that corner by moving the mailroom upstairs. I was able to move my deputy Mallory across the hall, which gave Ashley space to move 2 people into the room Mallory was in. That being said, conflict defender takes up another room on that corner, and as we know, hopefully they're on track to move into a new office this summer, and perhaps we could switch things around, get Mallory back in my office, maybe economic development could take those 2 offices, and we could find some space for the mailroom on this floor too. So just some temporary moves to help Ashley get her new employees close to her. I didn't want to put them out, some out at Crossroads, some here. I think it's important that you try to group people together as close as possible. So hopefully no long-term consequences to any of that.
I had some people ask me about the storage room that's right out here by the elevator, possibility for a mailroom.
That is a possibility. It's kind of a little funky there, but that's a possibility. I think, clerk of the board's also getting new flooring this summer, and we've talked about the cloak closet here that's not well used, and that might be some square footage we might be able to repurpose that way too. So I think there is some space on this floor that if you were to rearrange things, you could be a little bit more efficient. I don't believe the mailroom itself requires a lot of room, except for we have 1 large machine, and I think I'm going to put Brenda on the spot, or Terry. I think that lease is up on that machine the end of this year, and we've talked about maybe doing some things that wouldn't require such a big machine in the future. So that might be a possibility too.
Comment? Sure. Yeah, I had a chance to check out the old mailroom conversion to office space there, and once again, DPW did a great job. We appreciate it. Thank you.
And I think most of that was just tearing out some really old cabinets and a lot of elbow grease and a little paint and some scrubbing, and it worked out. Fill in the one door, yeah, the awkward door. But they can turn something around like that really quick. They do great work.
Don't tell at home that you can do that.
You got anything else in the works that we should be aware of?
I think perhaps if I could have a quick executive session maybe and just keep the back table and DPW here. I wouldn't mind doing proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property, I think might be the terms for an executive session.